Hi, I'm Ranger Rebecca and welcome to the Hunt House in Waterloo, New York. This was the home of Richard and Jane Hunt and the site of the historic tea that starts the first Women's Rights Convention held in Seneca Falls, New York, July 19th and 20th, 1848. But before this first Women's Rights Convention and this historic tea, this land used to belong to the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. It is not until the American Revolution, when soldiers marched through on the Sullivan's campaign and realized the economic opportunities that are available here. Rich, fertile land along with rapids were critical during the eve of the Industrial Revolution. So at the end of the American Revolution, treaties are broken and new ones are formed, clearing this land for European Americans to then move in and settle. And settlement will begin. Richard Hunt will be one of these early settlers. In 1821, at the age of 24, he'll move up to what was considered a boom town, where in 1815, there was only 9 family homes. Now consists of a little over 500 people and 200 homes. With mills, along with taverns and businesses, Richard Hunt will set up his dry goods store and set to work to gaining a profit. Aligning himself with other wealthy men in the area, he'll begin buying up land, and shortly, only 8 years later, has enough wealth that he could retire and purchases 145 acres on the outskirts of town in which to build his home, a simple federal brick building along the Seneca Turnpike, today routes 5 and 20. With that though, Richard does not retire. He continues on his work. He'll continue purchasing land to develop the area, building the Main Street block where most businesses reside. He'll also be the primary investor in the Waterloo Woolen Mill, a mill that is devoted to only using wool instead of cotton. This plays actually into his anti-slavery ways as well. He is strongly involved, especially with the work of his third wife, Sarah McClintock. They will serve in anti-slavery societies throughout this area. He also dabbles into politics as well, serving as one of the town's first supervisors, and he is a trustee for the Waterloo Academy, helping serve with education. His money leads into his philanthropy, trying to make change throughout reform movements. He also then, with his money, is able to donate to various causes, such as the building of the Wesleyan Chapel in Seneca Falls, New York, $100, considered to be the largest donation for this site, a place where all are welcome to gather to talk about the hard issues of the time, and will be the site of the first Women's Rights Convention as well. Unfortunately, Richard Hunt will lose his third wife, Sarah McClintock Hunt, in 1842. 3 years later, he'll marry Jane Hunt, a Quaker from Philadelphia, who will continue on the work that Richard Hunt had already started. In 1848, she will become a new mom for the second time and will become the host to the historic tea. It is here that Elizabeth Cady Stanton at this tea apparently pours out her heart and soul with such vehemence that she stirs herself and those in the room around her to take action, to do and dare anything, and they dared to organize the first Women's Rights Convention, to be held July 19th and 20th in the neighboring town of Seneca Falls, New York. It is that day that they set to work with less than 10 days to begin organizing. They'll work into the twilight hours to write up their advertisement, a Women's Rights Convention, a discussion on the social, civil, and religious condition of women, to be held at the Wesleyan Chapel on July 19th and 20th of this year at 10 a.m. featuring Lucretia Mott. She'll draw in the crowds. Between July 19th and 20th, 1848, about 300 people will gather in that Wesleyan Chapel to hear about the social, civil, and religious condition of women. Leading out with the founding document, the Declaration of Sentiments, the formal women's rights movement has started. The family here, the Hunts, will continue on their work and reform work, including Women's Rights Now. And according to family stories, they say that years later they attend the speech of Susan B. Anthony with their grandson, and she'll state, "Isn't this great? This all started at your grandmother's table."